Well, barely weeks after the Naxal attack in Chhattisgarh that killed the top Congress leadership, more than 100 Maoists today attacked a passenger train in Bihar, killing 3 people, including a Railway Protection Force Jawan, and injuring 5 others. They fired on the train for more than 30 minutes after forcibly stopping it and terrifying passengers. Sudhi Ranjan Sen has now more details on that from here in Delhi. Sudhi, what's the Home Ministry saying on this?
Well, Nidhi, to begin with, what we are getting to hear from the Home Ministry is that this train was stopped short way away from the Jamui station. It was the Dhanbad-Patna Interstate Express. And first, the emergency brakes of the train was applied, which means that some Maoists would be traveling in as passengers. Once the train was stopped, it came under heavy fire. It had a protection of the RPF. Mind you, after the Janeshwari Express attack and the Latehar incident where they had hijacked a train, there is a contingent of RPF armed men who travel with the travel in trains in areas that are dominated by Maoists. It was they who the Maoists had targeted. They killed one of them, snatched away about 3 weapons, which includes 1 AK-47. While this was happening, the reinforcements were rushed in, and the train, luckily, there were no major casualties. The train was able to move out of that area into safety. That is how the entire incident played out. It started at about 1:20, 1:25, and the situation was brought under control by about 3 o'clock. That's what we are being told.
So finally, is the Home Ministry essentially giving inputs that you're going to see more attacks? There was a talk when the Chhattisgarh attack happened that they are warning that there could be more such strikes that could take place. Is there a sense that they might try more sensationalist attacks?
Well, you see, for the Home Ministry, it's a bit difficult because the Home Ministry has already committed itself earlier by saying that, well, the number of Maoist incidents have gone down and Maoism is under control. At one point of time before the Chhattisgarh attack, in which the entire top leadership of the Congress Chhattisgarh was wiped out, the ministry was in a way tom-tomming its achievements by saying that they were slowly getting a grip of the situation with the dual-pronged strategy. Now, as soon as the attack happened and the politicians were targeted, we saw the ministry trying to take a different line, which is trying to equate the Maoists with terrorists, saying that, well, development can wait, we first need to go after them with the police, and that is also the line of the BJP as well. But that, unfortunately, has not been accepted by all parties, and the government has been forced to keep to its old policy, which is the dual-pronged strategy of trying to bring in development, trying to build in the roads, while backing it up with the police. Nidhi.
All right, so the very complex story, of course. Thanks very much for joining us with that update. We have Mr. Prakash Singh, former DGP, here in the studio with us. Mr. D. Raja, the National Secretary of the CPI, one of the parties that was there at the all-party meeting, which couldn't agree on nomenclature for how to address the Maoists. We still have Kavita Srivastav with us, and Sanjay Jha, the spokesperson of the Congress, joins us tonight from Mumbai. Let me ask Mr. Prakash Singh first. Maoists have attacked trains before. You were mentioning to me there have been much deadlier attacks in the past, but given the kind of headlines and the sensationalist horrific attack we saw in Chhattisgarh, do you get a sense that they are seeking now to stay in the headlines? They're looking for high-profile, very visible targets?
You see, government has been repeatedly saying that they have been able to contain Maoist violence. The number of incidents have come down, which is a fact. The less security forces personnel have been killed, and so many Politburo and Central Committee members have been neutralized one way or the other. The government has been repeatedly playing this out. So that's to counter this and just to disabuse an impression that the Naxals are finished. They are staging these incidents to demonstrate that they are alive and kicking, that they are a force to reckon with, and that they have the capacity to perpetrate incidents of violence wherever they want. Actually, this happened in Bihar. I would say that Bihar should consider itself lucky that they have not had a major incident, because I am aware that about 2 or 3 months back, the Ministry of Home Affairs sent a nasty letter to the government of Bihar saying that you are not complying with the guidelines which we had laid down, that your police is very slack on the anti-Maoist front, and that you should gear up your administrative and police machinery. I mean, a letter on that on these lines was signed by Mr. R.K. Singh himself to the government of Bihar.
By the Home Secretary.
So that's how it is. I mean, Bihar should consider itself lucky that they have had a small incident and there were no major casualties.
So then do you find it unfortunate the way the all-party meeting then played out earlier this week? There was a general consensus at the end that the dual-pronged approach needs to continue. But does it matter to you, sir, as someone who's a security analyst, someone who sees this from a security perspective, that whether they're called terrorists or not? Because if they are, do you think that that would change the approach politically in how we deal with them?
You see, the Prime Minister says that we have a two-pronged approach, taking armed action and secondly development. But if somebody were to ask them which one proceeds, which one takes number one, I mean whether you first take armed action and clear the area of Maoists and then follow it with development, or whether the two will go together, or development will be the first priority, and I don't think there will be any clear answer. In fact, government is confused about it, and that confusion is reflected at the ground level when you see the situation on the ground. I say that every chief minister has his own perception. I mean, in Bihar they would talk of development first, armed action later. Chhattisgarh.
So you feel there needs to be a one-pronged strategy?
No, I'm not. It has to be a two-pronged, but let the priorities be.
What do you think has to come first?
Well,
law and
the
order?
area has to be cleared of Maoists. You have to break the backbone of the Maoist Liberation Guerrilla Army. Unless you do that, you cannot think of and you cannot plan development.
Okay, let me ask Mr. Raja that. So, Mr. Raja, you know, the fact that the CPI was one of the parties in that all-party meeting that said we don't agree with the nomenclature terrorists, and yet you heard people like Jairam Ramesh, who in the past have often been accused of being soft on Maoists, yet he changed the nomenclature after the Chhattisgarh attack. He says that this was very clearly a terror attack. When parties can't even agree on how to describe the violence that Maoists commit, is it then difficult to move on from there?
At the outset, I must condemn this incident, what happened today. My party strongly condemns this violence, and in fact, I call upon the so-called ideologues of Maoist movement, Naxalite movement, to get rid of this infantile disorder, and they cannot target trains, running buses, crowded bazaars where common people come and go, common people travel. This is not the way of expanding or advancing revolution or winning the political power through the barrels of gun. They must rework their ideological and political understanding. We do not agree with them. We do not subscribe to their ideological political positions. We do not support them. We condemn this. Having said that, I must point out, having said that, I am come to the point. Terrorism, first of all, you should define what is terrorism. Ask Mr. Jairam Ramesh to define what is terrorism, or ask some pundits to define what is terrorism. Whenever there is some violent incident, then you jump on the nomenclature terrorism, terrorists. Let us be realistic. After all, we know the strength of our democracy. We should be very realistic, and we should address the issues in a realistic manner. What is the root cause for the emergence of left-wing extremism or the Maoist movement or Naxalite movement? It is not just law and order issue as Mr. Jairam Ramesh or somebody else think, and we will have to look at the root causes, socio-economic root causes of the growth of Maoism or Naxalism.
But then I want
and
to ask,
government doesn't want to understand these
I want to ask
things.
Mr. Jha then. Mr. Jha, even within the Congress party, there is the same dilemma, because you had, Mr. Jairam Ramesh calling them terrorists in an interview to us, and then you had Mr. K.C. Deo telling us 2 days later, well, how is that going to help? So clearly that same dilemma about how to approach this problem ideologically exists even within the Congress party.
Nidhi, not really, because I think satisfying the cosmetics of nomenclature is very peripheral to the entire central Maoist problem. If you look at it, their whole strategy since the time they have really become more violent has been guerrilla. Surprise attacks, violent, headline grabbing, deaths, and usually innocent people are collateral damage for them. I think that when politicians say that it is a threat to democracy or the fact that it's an attack against the state, let us not treat that as an empty rhetoric. There are Indians and there are people, common people, who are actually becoming victims to the Maoists who are exploiting what one believes is a genuine, maybe a tribal issue, but it is being used by them to try and really threaten the state. Now, in terms of your question, whether it's a two-pronged strategy, there is no denying that it has to be a two-pronged strategy which has to run concomitantly. The challenge is what is going to be the short term, what's going to be the long term.